Hello, parents and students of the Muroc Joint Unified School District. My name is Kevin Cordes, District Superintendent, and I just want to take a moment to thank you for how smoothly everything went this week on our first week back with in-person instruction. It went smoother than I think any of us probably thought that it would, and that is in large part due to our partnership with you and your children to ensure that they had a great first week and a wonderful transition back into the classroom. A couple of things that I'd like to bring up today. One is that we have moved into the orange tier in Kern County. With that comes some adjustments in our schools themselves. At the onset of bringing students back, one thing that we implemented, which was above and beyond any CDC guidelines, was to put trifold desk cubbies on every single student desk. Those worked fairly well in most situations, but for some students it was difficult for them to see depending on age and size, and also configuration of classroom. Moving into the orange tier, we have given some flexibility to students and to teachers. And so for those students that would like to continue to use those, they may do so, and there are many that are. And then there are some who have decided that they would like to just take those down. Everyone is still wearing a mask 100% of the time, and we're still more than distanced for the minimum distance requirements. So the big thing is to wear the mask at all times. We are also striving to keep everybody socially distanced, especially younger students during play hours, out at recess or at lunchtime. And the younger they are, honestly, the more difficult that can be. One good thing to keep in mind is CDC recommendations and guidelines really center around spending more than 15 minutes within that radius with an individual. So what we see outside with students playing, having that free time, is that they run all over the place and they're enjoying the facilities, which is wonderful. And we are reminding them and also teaching them on how to be around each other. And they're excited to be near each other, but also keeping that appropriate social distancing. So we appreciate you supporting us in that as well and talking with your students. We don't have anyone that's doing anything that's egregious by any means. Even in the high schools, I'd like to thank all you students. As I see you in the hallways, you're all wearing your masks and keeping a good distance between one another. I think that socially we are so used to walking, transitioning in life a little closer to one another than 3 feet, that sometimes we have to gauge that and really make sure that we do have that distance between us. But by and large, considering that we are getting used to this and we're moving into a new environment like this, I just want to thank everybody and express appreciation for the dedication to keep one another healthy. We're also working on how we bring people into the campus for sure. A couple of parents expressed concern that maybe as students are coming in, that as we're checking temperatures, it's not being read. And we've heard you. We've gone back and stressed that with our staff and to ensure that everyone is actually taking the time to take a look at that thermometer as well. A big component of this is ensuring that if you bring your child to school, that you have done a pre-assessment already at home. And I think if we're guilty of anything, if we see a child with a parent, we're relying on the idea that you have already pre-checked them before you brought them. Nevertheless, we're here to ensure that they are really ready for the day, and we will do a better job of making sure that we look at those temperatures. So thank you for bringing concerns up to us. I spent some time, all of us were on campuses throughout the week at all the school sites. I went around and asked several parents and some students what we could do better, received a couple of ideas, and for the most part, everyone was just expressing their gratitude. So I just want to say back to you, thank you. Now, this is still new for us. To come back to school with COVID still in our lives, and to also have a hybrid where we have some students that are in distance learning and the majority of our students still coming back and being in person. We're learning every day how to do this the very best way possible. So Thank you for your patience and your understanding. If you have any questions or concerns that relate directly to your school site, as always, I would encourage you to talk with the teacher first if it's a teacher-related issue, or if you have done that, or it's a site issue, feel free to reach out to the site principal and have that discussion with them. And we would love to hear from you. If you see things that you feel we could do better, we're open to that. One thing that I personally was interested in was how it would go at Bailey and Branch Elementary School, because we have not attended those brand new buildings before. So I was just amazed and have so much appreciation for you parents who have been working with us. I know that the traffic can get a little congested, especially in the morning. Most people come within a 15-minute window, but you all work together really well. You were polite, courteous. A big reminder to everyone that there are a lot of little people in those areas, so please keep the speed limits nice and slow. One parent brought up a concern about the construction dumpster that is in the Kiss and Go lane. That will be removed shortly. That is just there because of construction. It was scheduled to be there months ago, before we intended to bring students back. And having that in that location is the best placement for students being on campus. And we appreciate you being patient with us. That will be removed here shortly. Its purpose for being on the campus is just about wrapped up. So thank you again to all of you. It has been a great first week. We look forward to the last few weeks of school and doing all that we can for your students. Again, our appreciation, and hope that you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you very much. Good night.